These men changed the world. A playwright, a philosopher, an astronomer, a public official, a defense attorney. None of them died how you'd expect. That's not a punchline. That's the pattern. Genius had a blind spot, and the smarter you are, the harder it hits. This is the record. These weren't random accidents. They weren't unlucky men. Every single one of them was operating at peak capacity inside their domain right up to the moment something completely outside of that domain ended them. They didn't lose focus. They didn't stop thinking. They just never registered the threat, because you can't defend against what doesn't exist in your worldview. Remember that. It becomes relevant. 456 BC, Aeschylus, father of tragedy, the man who invented dramatic storytelling as we know it, 70 plays. He fought at Marathon. He survived wars that erased entire civilizations from the map. He did not survive a bird. An eagle carrying a tortoise spotted Achilles' bald head from altitude, mistook it for a rock, dropped the tortoise directly onto his skull, dead. The man who created theater, killed by nature's worst delivery service. In fairness to the eagle, it had a job to do. The eagle completed its job. It just had bad data on the rock. That's just the warm-up, because Aeschylus got taken out by something external, something that came from completely outside his world. That's one kind of blind spot. The next man, he died from inside his own philosophy. Chrysippus, 206 BC, one of the most prolific Stoic philosophers in history, over 700 written works, logic, ethics, the nature of the universe. He got a donkey drunk. Then he watched the donkey try to eat figs, and he laughed himself to death. This man spent his entire life mastering rational thought and emotional discipline. The Stoics wrote entire treatises on not reacting to external chaos. He died laughing at a drunk donkey eating figs. 700 works on emotional control. None of them accounted for the donkey. Tycho Brahe, greatest astronomer of the pre-telescope era, mapped the sky with his bare eyes and a brass sextant. Prosthetic metal nose, pet moose. In 1601, royal banquet in Prague, Tycho needed to use the bathroom. He didn't go. It was considered rude to leave before the king. So Tycho sat. Course after course, wine after wine, hours. By the time he got home, it was too late, bladder failure. 11 days later, he was dead. Modern toxicology has raised questions about mercury poisoning. The full truth is still contested, but the bladder story is documented. He mapped the movement of every known celestial body across decades of observation. Could not navigate one sentence to the king. I'll be right back. The man who charted planetary orbits, undone by dinner party etiquette. All right, 2 left. The last 2 are the ones that sound made up. They're not. Hit subscribe. This channel exists for people who need the whole story. Hans Steininger, burgomaster of Brahe, Austria, 1567, 4.5-foot beard, a point of civic pride. He was literally famous for it. He kept it rolled up, tucked into his little leather pouch inside his coat. One day, there was a fire. He forgot the pouch. He ran, he stepped on his own beard, he tripped, he fell down the stairs, he broke his neck. A man of civic authority, killed by his own face. His beard is still on display in a museum in Austria. It outlived him by 450 years. You could go see it, you could stand in front of it, and you would know on some molecular level that it won. Clement Vallandigham, Ohio politician, defense attorney, 1871, his client was on trial for murder. Prosecution claimed he shot a man in a bar fight. Vallandigham had a theory. The victim had accidentally shot himself while drawing his own pistol. To prove it, he decided to demonstrate. In his hotel room, the night before court, he picked up what he believed was the unloaded gun, the actual evidence weapon. It was not unloaded. He shot himself in the stomach. He died the next morning. But his client was acquitted because the jury heard what happened and concluded that if Vallandigham could accidentally shoot himself with that gun, so could the original victim. He proved his case with his own death. That's either the greatest or the worst thing a lawyer has ever done for a client. Now, I've been sitting with this for a minute and I still can't decide. Okay, so here's what connects all 5. They weren't reckless. They were not ignorant. They were not ordinary. They were each operating at peak capacity inside their domain, right up to the moment something completely outside of that domain ended them. Aeschylus survived war, he didn't expect the sky. Brahe charted the cosmos, he couldn't navigate the dinner table. Vallandigham won cases for decades, he didn't check the chamber. The most dangerous blind spot isn't the one you're afraid of. It's the one that doesn't register as a threat at all. That's not a warning, that's just the record. Subscribe and like. Learn hard, live loud. I'll see you in the next one.